All right, welcome to the this series or this week's tools I bought last week. We are really leaning into this TPLC bag. This is my attempt to fill this bag completely with USA made tools. And man, did I get the comments last week that really helped out. And I got a lot of tools here to show you that I got. Most of them are all made in the USA that's going to go in this bag. May end up having to get a bigger bag because you guys sent in a lot of suggestions. We're also going to be picking from those comments a winner of this week's giveaway, and I will be telling you what that is here a little bit later. But let's get into this. So this is a TPLC that I am, you saw last week where we added the Craftsman tape, the Montana bits, various other things. This thing is really filling up. I mean, we got a lot of Klein in here. Thank you, Klein, for sending me most of this stuff for free. The channel lock, we got the Bondus Allen keys, we got Tecton, we got Crescent, we got Klein, we got Montana bits, we got Craftsman tape measure. So let's see what you guys suggested this week for the bag. I think all of these other than one are suggested, and I bought every one of them with my own money. The only thing I did not, let's see, did I get, no, I didn't get anything sent to me for free this week. So, all right, let's take a look. Okay, first thing I want to look at is this very cool blue spruce chisel. Blue spruce is owned by woodpeckers. You know, I have a lot of woodpeckers squares. I think they make the best squares in the world. But this is a rosewood handle, and they put this handle in a pot that's got vacuum to it, and they infuse a resin that makes it very slick, very smooth, just a beautiful handle. So this is made in the United States. I'm going to have to check and see where Woodpeckers is. I know it's in the United States. You see the little blue spruce emblem right there. Just a beautiful tool. Now these chisels are a little expensive. I think this was $60, something like that. But man, I use a lot of these blue spruce chisels. Really like them. So this little 5/8 inch is going in the bag. Okay, next, viewer suggested 3-piece cold chisel set for this is the Mayhew. I think Matt sent this in. Like I said, these are made in the USA. You got your 3/8, your 1/2 inch, your 5/8 cold chisel. I think we're going to pick one of these, either the 1/2 inch or the 3/8 to go in the bag. Remove soft metal, concrete, whatever you want. This thing is just stays the shape it's in. It really doesn't chip that much because it's such a hard steel. So this says Turner's Falls, Massachusetts. That's the 3-piece cold chisel set. Okay, next thing. I had 2 or 3 people send me this. This is the Klein Tools Power Driver set. It's the 5-piece 1/4 inch hex bit set. It's got number 1 Phillips, number 2 Phillips, couple of Robinsons, and a little flathead. 5-pack, made in the USA, 3.5 inch length, impact rated. I wanted to pick these up because even though I had the Montana bits, of course Klein Tools make some of the best, tools in the world, and these are getting ready to be discontinued, no longer to be made in the United States. So I want to make sure I got a set before that happened. I will find. I'm looking for a bit block that's made in the United States that I could hold these bits in, and some of the Montana bits instead of that big black plastic case. It'd be nice to have a railer block or something like that that's made in the United States. I'm gonna have to. If you guys know of any, please leave a comment. By the way, there will be another giveaway this week based on the comments. It's not going to be, you don't have to have a secret word or anything. You just give me a suggestion on some American-made tools that I need, and we'll look into that. I'll be picking one of those suggestions. I have, at the end of this, we're going to be looking at what we have and what we need, and then you can leave some suggestions with that. But so that's the Klein Tools Power Driver set. Tell you another thing I bought last week were some work boots. You can easily find USA-made work boots, no problem. In fact, they're some of the best in the world. When I was a carpenter, I used the Craftsman Die Hard. Had a nice soft crepe sole. You could walk around. They would just stick to the sheeting on the roof. I could walk anything under an 812. I could walk on with these. Then I went to the Red Wings later on in my career, and I've been wearing the Red Wings for the last 30 years. I decided to try something different. These are the Thorogoods. These are the mock toe Thorogoods with the typical mock toe heel or sole on it. Nice soft sole, but it's also they make these soles themselves. They're not a Vibram sole; they make it themselves, and they do a very good job. You can see the USA flag they put here on the side. Then I decided I've always been interested in the Pacific Northwest boots. Pacific Northwest is really famous for their handmade boots. I bought these. These are JR boots out of Spokane, Washington. Spokane's got a lot of famous boot makers, Whites, Franks, Nicks, a lot of boot makers out of Spokane in the state of Washington and also the state of Oregon. They also have some pretty famous Pacific Northwest boot makers. The difference between these two is these have a lot of non-leather materials as far as here in the wedge and in part of the sole, where this is all leather. It's all leather all the way till you get down. You see even this right here is veg tan leather. And then you get to your Vibram sole. These are stitched down. There's 3 rows of stitching here, all handmade. I tell you what, I'll leave a link to a video of these type of boots being made. This happens to be the bison leather. If you can see that bison leather, very, very strong leather, very thick. See how thick that is? But it's real soft. I mean, they're easy to break in. They're very soft. Now, I'll be breaking these in over the next week. I've got some Oberhoffs, I think it is, oil that I use to break in. In fact, these boots here used to be a light camel color. I put a coat of oil on them right before I started wearing them just to help the break in. And I also put an oil on these also. But these also, I mean, you know, these Pacific Northwest boots in the 1869 when the Intercontinental Railroad was completed, and around 1870 is really when the height of when the timber market was really going on in the Pacific Northwest. The timber companies would actually bring shoe cobblers into the camps to make boots for the guys. These Pacific Northwest boots were born out of that. There was a lot of companies started from those same people that used to go into the camps. And now in the Pacific Northwest, typically they have a heel on them. Mainly when you're walking downhill, or you know they log it on mountains, so that heel would grip into the mountain, give them some traction. And also, as you're walking up, it would change the level or the angle of the shoe a little bit to help them walk uphill. But man, these are just awesome boots. As you can tell, a little bit different. You can tell this is just that grain is a lot denser, a lot bolder than the cowhide leather. Very thick leather. And they all come with leather shoelaces. Just an awesome boot. Now these boots, like I said, were probably a little bit less than the Red Wings, a little under 300, and these are around 550 to 600, something like that. But they are all handmade. You know, I watch a guy named Wrangle Star. He says his dad told him to buy 2 things that don't skip on. One's a mattress and one's a boots, because if you're not in one, you're in the other. And that's the truth. So I decided to go ahead and invest in a nice pair of boots. I mean, I'll have these the rest of my life, I'm sure. I probably won't even need to resole them with the amount of work I'm doing these days. So let's look at something else I bought last week. Next, a couple of people left this. This is Swanson 4.5-inch speed square. Let's see where it's made. I know it's made in the United States. It doesn't show where. It probably might under here. But these are, you can see, made in the USA. I use these trim squares. In fact, I have right up here a 7-inch Swanson somewhere. But I did not have this 4.5-inch, so I picked this up. So, good to have. We'll find a place in the bag for that. Next thing, also from Woodpeckers. This is the Made in the USA. This is a USA tape. You know, I've got the 25-foot Craftsman, but I like these 12-foot tapes also. This one is made in the USA, half-inch. And I just like the size of this tape. A lot of times I don't need a 20-foot tape, 25-foot tape. These are all I need. It's got a baked-on blade coating, oversized numbers. You can see that. I like that. And I don't like the one that's got the listing on here. If you don't know how to read a tape, you need to learn how to read a tape. You shouldn't have a lot of numbers here to jumble everything up. I mean, you should be able to look at a tape and tell exactly what that mark there is. So that's a USA tape. Okay, next is the 3-piece bar kit. Now this is the Dasco Pro little pry bar kit. I really like this. I like these flat bars too. Of course, you know, you always need to curve, but these little flat ones come in handy also. So that's the 3-piece bar kit from Dasco, made in the USA. Let's see if we can see where they're out of. Hebron, Illinois. Okay, so we'll put that in the bag. Now I got a couple of things here that aren't USA made. One of them is the Spider bit set. The main reason is I think these things look very cool, this blue color. I mean, a lot of people talk about how good they are, how strong they are, but man, they're just cool looking. Check this thing out. I mean, look at that. That thing's awesome. Now, hopefully they are stronger because they definitely cost more. I mean, if they weren't half off, I would never bought this. Morning, I was at Lowe's looking around, and they had this, the DeWalt. This is a 14-piece titanium drill bit set. It's got the only thing they have duplicates of are a 1/16 of an inch because they break, I guess, more often. But this was. It was on sale for $13 and like 50 cents or something like that. So I picked this up at Lowe's for like $13.60. It was half off. Let's look at what we've got and what we need. I would think, now I've got a hammer coming that's USA made. It will be on next week's episode. I need a knife and a flashlight. Let's see, what else would I need? Oh, you know what I need? A bit holder. I would love to. In fact, when I was at Lowe's today, I was looking at those Klein bit holders, but they're made in, I think they were made in Taiwan or Japan once. So some type of bit rail that I can hang on the bag where it doesn't have to go. You see how much room this thing's taking up, and I got another one in the back pouch. This is a Montana pouch, so it's taking up a lot of room. So I need a flashlight, need a knife. Love to have a razor knife. Whatever else you guys think I need, let me know. You know what's in here. I just showed you what's in here. So if you can think of anything else, let me know. Now let's go to the giveaway. Let's see who won and let's see what they're going to win. Okay guys, so this is on this week's giveaway that we're getting ready to do. This is the M18 Surge impact driver. It's got 4 modes on it. They just came out with the new M18 Surge, so this would be the first model they have. Still brand new shape, brand new condition. We also have the DeWalt 20-volt XR multi-tool. I love the way these things, you change the blades on these. Now you can't win both, but when you email me, just give me your address to send it. You tell me which one you want, the Milwaukee or the DeWalt. They're both brushless. This is the XR version with the brushless motor, and this is the fuel version. So, you know, 2 top of the line drills here. Let's see who won it. Okay, so I got it in here. Let's click fetch. We won't include replies. Anything goes. That means you don't need a special word. 38 comments. Let's pick a winner. Sizzle Neck. Hey, congratulations, Sizzle Neck. Hey, do me a favor. Send me an email. The email will be in the description. Tell me which one of those tools you want, and I'll get it right out to you. Thanks a lot for commenting. You guys, thanks a lot for giving me all the comments, everybody. And I'll see you next week.